All right, we are listening to Dame Lillard rap. You can't hear it because I don't want to pay YouTube at some point. But anyway, so we wanted to do a video today. Basically, it's going to be on the Knicks. It's going to be on what the rotation is going to look like with no injuries. So we wanted to try to see how Thibodeau is going to manage the team. So yeah, let's look at the minutes here once everybody, we assume, will come back. Potentially Julius Randle might be out depending on if they recommend surgery, and if he takes surgery, I think he can still play. He just won't be as effective. So potentially if he has surgery, he may be out the rest of the year. We don't know. OG had a bone spur removed. We don't know what kind of spur. I said bone spur, but we don't know what kind of spur it was. I saw a video on YouTube from this orthopedic surgeon who said it could be a tendon spur, a bone spur, a muscle spur. I didn't realize there were so many spurs, but we don't know which spur it is. So depending on the news of that removal will show whether or not OG comes back within 3 weeks or in 6 weeks or wherever. We don't know. Mitchell Robinson had a foot issue. He is doing. The All-Star break is coming up. They're going to monitor him, and they're going to see him on court practicing. So it looks like he will be back sooner rather than later. Dante DiVincenzo in the last game, the fix. Is it Goebbels? I already forgot his name. The ref from Miami that cost the Knicks the game. DiVincenzo has a hamstring issue. Depending on the severity, I have had those back when I used the ball. And those things can last a week or they can last for a month. So we don't know about him. So from the potential starting five, only Jalen Brunson is left. That is crazy. That is not an outlier. That may be a situation where Tibbs needs to get overruled on playing players past a certain amount of minutes, or they need to come up with something, because 4 starters out. I mean, Julius, you can't really blame. OG's bone spur, I don't know if playing would do that, but DiVincenzo and Robinson, you could argue potentially with a lower workload, they would have been less likely to get injured. Bojan is off the bench. So this is what the computer has, and I don't disagree. Yeah, because Tibbs has a 9-man rotation. Wow. They have Josh Hart as the bottom feeder, I guess, or the last man in, and that is not the case. He would be the first person off the bench. I think Bojan would be second. I think Burks is the last dude in. Now, me personally, I would adjust the rotation differently. I would obviously make it less minutes for the top players, but we're going based on what we know with Tibbs. So yeah, we're gonna go there. Wow. Alec Burks is gonna be on the short end of the stick. We'll do Mitch out 1 minute. I think they're gonna do even minutes, give or take, because they've both proven to be starting quality centers. So I will have it more 50-50 so that we can also avoid injury. And that's another thing. Mitchell Robinson was like a domino effect. Mitchell Robinson was injured, and then he started playing Hartenstein 43, 44 minutes, multiple games in a row. And I don't think that was going to happen if Mitch never got hurt. There also might be a consideration of re-signing Hartenstein because he's more versatile offensively and is at least a threat in the paint besides dunking. And Mitchell's had injury histories that are long, and it seems like every year he gets injured with his body, so they may look to trade him, despite the fact that he has, or is considered, one of the best offensive rebounders in the game. Julius is going to play his minutes. OG will play his minutes. I think this is right. I'm going to take a few minutes off of DiVincenzo because I don't think he's going to be playing his max minutes like he used to. Who will they go to? Maybe they go to Burks. I'll give one to Hart, and I'll give the rest to Burks. So I think that's the rotation. It'll be a 9-man rotation. And as good as Precious has played, his versatility to switch His ability to knock down the open three-pointer occasionally. His passing is terrible. He's not the greatest hands. He's shown that he can rebound in the tip system, but that means he's out. Deuce McBride, who has jumped leaps and bounds because of his ability to spread the floor with his three-point shooting when he wasn't able to do so before. His on-ball defense has always been elite. No playmaking skills whatsoever, not much rebounding, a lot of athleticism. So he's out of the rotation. So that's unfortunate. These two are going to be basically injury backups. If anybody gets hurt, they'll be ready to go. Taj is not going to probably get signed, obviously, for the rest of the season unless coach wants veteran leadership in the locker room to kind of check the younger players. Everybody respects Taj, and he can deliver the message from the head coach. So he may stay around just from a voice, but his career as an athlete is pretty much over. He was actually considering coaching this year, so more than likely will coach next year with the Knicks. Jericho Sims has digressed a little bit. He is certainly an injury replacement. Good body. He should rebound way more. And the fact that Precious, Isaiah Hartenstein, Josh Hart, and Mitchell Robinson can rebound in this system, and Jericho cannot pass. Jericho can only really dunk and occasionally do a dunk in. He cannot pass. He sets good screens. He has good feet. But other than that, doesn't offer much of anything else. I don't know anything about this guy, Dwayne Washington. Jacob Toppin has been destroying the G League, but it's similar to Deuce last year, who was destroying the G League. I think Jacob Toppin might be a consideration, a player that can play next year potentially as a backup for. We will see. I don't know this dude at all. So that's what I think the rotation is going to be.